And I would like to add, I am very pleased with what Trustee Cotton said, because we would be more than happy as an association or the association to highlight step by step where the money comes from, how it will be broken down, how it will be distributed, because there is absolutely nothing to hide, and all the more reason as to why this is a cost-neutral, very effective delivery model, which has been proven time and time again. So trustees will know the breakdown, no problem.
I look forward to that. Okay, at present, I'm just going to discuss what's happened in the past, and you'll have to look at my train of thought. St. Joseph the Worker and Our Lady of the Rosary canceled their heritage program way back in the 90s when I was a teacher. At present, what is the percentage of parents at a particular extended day program that must agree to open the discussion before our board will consider a request to cancel the Italian language extended day program? The reason I ask this is, will that same percentage be applied to the percentage of parents at a particular school that must agree to open the discussion to add the extended day Italian program to a school? So if we're looking at a threshold of 80 or 90%, will that same threshold be applied? And I'd like staff to look at this to if we add the program. I don't want there to be one criteria for canceling and one criteria for extending.
I'm just going to answer that, because the policy that you're quoting from when you were a teacher is no longer applicable.
Okay.
So there was a percentage. I'm not going to say what it was because it's irrelevant. It no longer exists. I do believe that the participation in the program at every school, I asked Mr. LaLiberte last year or something, is like 95% in every school right now that is offering the program. Trustee Sajesi, do you have more information on that?
Yes, thank you. And you're right, Chair Crow. That was policy 302, Trustee Grella, which, as Chair Crow reiterated, that it is no longer, because it is an old policy. But I will say this, that there was also another practice back in the day, when you quoted the dates, that a school who would request the program, 23 signatures were all that was required in terms of letting this program be instilled within the schools. The reason why some of these schools canceled their programs was because of low enrollment, but also because there was a process in place, unfortunately not a very good one, where they would ask all of the people to vote, even those who never voted. So once those who never voted against it, then automatically they would take it away. So I encourage staff to go back, revisit, and create a policy, as you said, Trustee Grella, that is consistent and that will be maintained for all schools.
Yeah, I'd like to see a policy in place where there's the extension of the program and also the cancellation of the program, and it has to be consistent in both areas. And, you know, what concerns me as a fiduciary of the board is the instability of funding. We have it this year, but what's to guarantee we'll get it next year? And that's what I'm looking at. Like, will the Italian government step up and produce the same amount of funds? Like, can you guarantee us that? And also, the other thing I have, in addition to the uncertainty of potential significant reforms to the Board of Governance, and I think you addressed this, Trustee Iafredi, will Italia Lingua Cultural be permitted to continue in its quest to secure significant funding for the extended day program should governance change?
Trustee Sajesi, do you have an answer about the ability
Yes. So
from
to
your funding?
So to your first question with regards to, I think it was if we don't get money, if the association doesn't get money from the government, I don't know how to emphasize this, but there is a growing demand to implement this program. The Ministry of External Affairs actually is looking forward to growth, and they have pretty well guaranteed that if we continue to grow, they will continue to provide money to us. I don't know how to say this, but I'll come very direct and say they had stopped for a while to wanting to give money to boards. But that changed, and now they are looking forward to growth. They want to ensure that if we continue to increase enrollment, they will guarantee that money will be given. The more students who want to take it, the more schools we open, the more money we will be giving. As for the association is grounded in integrity to maintain this, I guess we could call it a governing agent, and it is there on its own, whether the school board exists or not. But as of now, we will continue as of an association to be there long term because we can't dissolve it. So those are two areas where, rest assured, we won't have any issues at all.
The reason why I ask is we're in a deficit right now, and I want this program not to take money from other programs. That's what I'm asking, and I'm sure you've answered that question. And I want it to be a cost-neutral program. So I don't want for us to commit to something and down the road we don't have the funds. Where are we going to get the funds from? Because right now Toronto Catholic spends $9 to $10 million on their international language program that's in the extended day. So, and the ministry is looking at that program right now. So my question as a as someone who looks after the funds of this board, I want it to be cost neutral, and that's what I'm looking for.
Making reference to Toronto Catholic really doesn't make much sense, in my opinion, okay? Because that is a completely different issue. They are going through something different than us. We are, as I mentioned in my presentation, cost neutral in delivering this program, and it will remain this way as far as the association is involved, which will be here long term. As for the actual program, I want to say it is an effective one. Parents are asking for it. It isn't coming from Trustee Sageza. Trustee Sageza is just the voice and the advocate for the demands that are out there. So as a group of trustees, I'm sure you can agree, Trustee Grella, that this is something that would be very well worth our time to invest in.
Yeah, just follow up. I know parents ask for a lot of things, but I just want to make sure that it is cost neutral, and that, I'm looking for, and that a financial report does come in October so that we as trustees can make an informed decision. And again, I'm not judging the transparency. I just want to see the numbers in front of us, because as you know, the government is dealing in numbers right now, and they want to make sure that we are looking at our deficit and trying to get rid of our deficit, and I want to see that this program is cost neutral. Thank you.
Trustee Wigston?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So just further to the financial report so that we have all of the information that we need to make a properly informed decision. I have a couple of questions or things that I'm hoping we can ensure are included in the financial report from our CFO. So one of the first things that I'd like to understand is making a change like this, will that affect scheduling in terms of our itinerant teachers? Because the day is going to change. And if that happens, are we going to require additional costs in terms of itinerant teachers and their scheduling? So anything that has to do with that, I think, would need to be built in. And I'm not talking about our international language instructors. I'm talking about when the school day structure changes, you know, the itinerant teachers for music, etc. Will have to serve within that changed parameter. So that's first. You know, are there going to be additional costs with that? Second, and I appreciate that that there's a growing demand for the program and that there is commitment, and you've mentioned that it's guaranteed. I'd like to see that in writing, because I don't want to leave a legacy to future boards that we have agreed to expand a program that subsequently doesn't maintain its funding level, and then we need to find that. So if we can get that in writing, that would certainly be helpful, that guarantee. Another piece that I feel needs to be included in the financial report is any effects that it will have, change in bell times and transportation, anything that those things may or may not affect our costing. And so that needs to be included in there as well. And the last thing that, that I had a question on, because the PowerPoint referred to and the international languages grant. Can somebody confirm, please, how that grant is, like, is that an extended day grant? Because that's what it said in your slide, for an extended day. Or is that the money that we get that supports our evening and Saturday programs? So,
Mr. McNeil can answer that one question right now.
Thank you for that question, Trustee Wixton. So actually, it's good that you asked that question, because just to Trustee Grella's point about Toronto Catholic Board, as I understand and remember, the reason they have such a big deficit with this program is because a large part of it is actually in school hours. So they're basically not getting any funding for that part of the day, which is different to ours, obviously, because ours is extended day. And the revenue that we get for this program is basically a certain amount per class, and it's basically extended day funding.
I think that's it. Thank you.
As chair, I'm going to go last. I have some questions. And as I said, I honestly believe that being in a multi-year financial recovery plan, we need a detailed financial report. And I am not putting down the analysis that Trustee Sajesi put down, and she put a lot of effort into that. But I've got a couple questions. There were comments made about other languages, and I have concerns about opening it up to other languages, and so I wrote down notes just to make sure. So. First of all, again, thank you so much for all the work that you've done. Thank you to the Italian government. And I have always said that I will support this program if it's cost neutral, and even over the bumps, because the efforts have been made. It hasn't been cost neutral every year. It's a matter of analyzing the gap and the value of the program and our financial situation, right? So, but it is my understanding that once the money the request has gone in, et cetera, it will show up as other revenue in our, it's not a grant. So we have whatever it is, 97% of our budget or whatever, and then we have other revenue, just like we have community use of schools, et cetera. So I would like a clarification from the ministry, okay? And this is the issue of the 23 students, because I actually went and read the Education Act. So usually we cannot charge for a ministry-funded program, just like we cannot charge for textbooks or for transportation. And the Ed Act says if 23 students request a language, we need to provide it. But the mode of delivery is the board's decision. And so that is why all our other languages, okay, including Italian in some areas, run in summers and Saturdays and other virtually now. I went on our website, you know, we have virtual classes as well as in-person classes. Okay, so can we say we will open our program up to other extended languages? Okay, so, you know, people listed them. So I'll make an example. You know, if we want to offer Cantonese or Mandarin, for example, and you know, the comment was made, we'll let them look for money. Can we say we're going to open the program up to other languages with the restriction, okay,